here we are. I did it.
Antisocial Butterfly Podcast. We are here to inspire dreams and help you spread your wings to fly. Baby girl, it's okay to be shy. But now it's time to kiss fear goodbye.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Antisocial Butterfly Podcast, your new favorite podcast for motivation and confidence. I am your host, LISSY Correa. This is episode 71. Thank you so much for tuning in. Before you fly away and forget, please make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you are alerted every time I upload a new episode. On this episode, we are going to talk about procrastination, how to avoid it, and it's something that I struggle with and an area of my life that I want to focus on and improve. Throughout my life, I've always struggled with procrastinating, and I always wondered why. Why do I do that to myself? And is there a way that I can improve? Just like any other quality, any other behavior about yourself, it's going to be part of your journey, and that is okay. It's just being aware of who you are, how you act, how you think, and learning things along the way to help you think better and act better. And it's so crazy how everything stems from what you think. What are you feeding your mind? Self-esteem, confidence, all stems from what are you telling yourself and what are you thinking? Let's look up the definition of procrastination because I don't know how many people out there feel that they are the only ones that suffer from procrastination. Not a lot of people around me talk about it. Then again, I'm not here talking about it, sharing. So here we are, guys. I suffer from procrastination. And what is procrastination? So the definition that I found is the act of delaying or postponing something. So why do procrastinators delay doing things? I'll tell you what. One thing is a lot of procrastinators are perfectionists. They have to have everything in order. They have to be at their 100% to be able to take the first step. And the reality is, life is not always 100%. The situation around us is not always going to be in our favor. We're not going to have everything that we need. Nothing is going to be 100%. We may not even be feeling 100%, but we cannot rely on our circumstances and our feelings to take action and do the things that we need to get done. I believe that I had to be my most happiest, my most creative to start something. And the truth is that you're never on a given day going to feel that way. It's all about taking the step regardless of anything and using the resources that you have now. Don't wait. When you wait to do something, it becomes much more harder and harder to take that first step. And why is that? Well, we overthink. We overthink of all the possibilities that need to take place before we take the action. We don't first take the action and then think about all the possibilities. No, we think about every scenario, and sometimes that stops us from taking that very first step. What are you telling yourself in the moment when you commit to do something and after when you commit to do something? I'll tell you guys right now, as soon as I know that I have to do something, I'm already talking myself how to get out of it. And being a perfectionist, if you think about it, if you break that down really what that is, you want the outcome to be great. You are passionate in what you are committing yourself to do. You have high standards for yourself. You have these high expectations for yourself, which are all great because you strive to be excellent. Eventually, great procrastinators, not to toot my own horn, but I get it done. I get the projects done. I get the task at hand that I need to get done. But I do it with a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. And I used to say to myself, maybe that's just how I work. That's when I get the most ideas. But I'm like, why am I living this way? At some point, I need to know what is in my control, what is not in my control, and I can control when I get things done. For the most part, I can control when I get it done, how I break things down. We're not just going to talk about what procrastination is, and if you happen to have it, it's great to share that you're not alone. There's power in knowing how you can change, how you can focus on it. This is the foundation of the podcast, is just to bring awareness and motivation to be the better versions of yourself so that you can be strong, so you can be confident and fearless in being who you were set to be, fearless in being who you are. I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts, which I promote here time and time again, Trash Tuesday, on episode 69. They talked about fighting procrastination and following through. That part of the podcast, I immediately wanted to share with you guys. It's so inspiring to me to see women out there talk about these things. And these things are very sensitive. A lot of people don't talk about them. It could be embarrassing. It's not something that you talk about a lot. It should be talked about. And it's something that you shouldn't be embarrassed about. It's something that you shouldn't be afraid to mention. Especially for me, it is empowering to see someone that I look up to also have something that they are focusing on and trying to improve. And that's what I want to always dedicate a piece of my life to, is always self-improving, accepting myself, and loving who I am.
But I am a big time procrastinator. I'm somebody who has like that kind of avoidance. Where it's like, if someone tells me what to do, I will make sure I will never do it.
The beautiful Kalila suffers from procrastination. See, she says she suffers from that feeling of avoidance. As soon as she is committed to something, something inside her is telling her, get out of it. Get out of it. The commitment of showing up, being perfect. People who are introverts, perfectionists, overthinkers out there, they will totally understand this scenario. So you get invited to a birthday party and you say yes, and immediately you're trying to get out of it. Why? Because you're already thinking of all that has to be involved with going to this party, right? What are you going to wear? What do you have to bring? The conversations that you're going to have. What are you going to wear? Who's going to be there? Are they going to like you? Are you going to like the people that are there? Are you going to have fun? And all of these things, including more, come into my mind. Something inside already says, this is too much for us. This is already too much stress. Let's try to get out of it.
So I have been working a lot on my procrastination. And the thing...
Annie Letterman also suffers from procrastination. What? These women that I follow have what I have. What? And they're still doing their thing, right? They're still weekly coming out, doing their podcast. They are grinding. They're doing shows throughout the United States. And they still show up to do this podcast. That shows a lot of their commitment to themselves. I want to be like these girls here on Trash Tuesday when I grew up.
This was a Jim Fortin thing I was listening to. It's Jim Fortin, follow his podcast. It was that procrastination is you're breaking your word to yourself. So that's, you don't have self-integrity, which is low self-esteem.
Dude, yes.
It's low self-esteem.
Wow. Wow. It's almost like I have to hear that again. Procrastination is you are breaking your word to yourself. That is pretty powerful, deep, piercing thing that I needed to hear. You're breaking your word to yourself. You made a promise to yourself. You're going to go to work out. You're going to change your diet. You're going to talk to this person you never talked to. You're going to finally apply to this job, and you don't do it. You break the promise to yourself. You repeat it and you do it over and over again. And of course, you don't have confidence in yourself because you don't keep your word to yourself. You're going to lose trust in yourself. You're going to lose self-esteem. You're going to procrastinate. You're not going to get things done because you do not trust in yourself. We need to build that trust in ourselves first. Show up for ourselves time and time again, no matter what. And over time, that will boost our self-esteem. It will boost our confidence.
Yeah, when you keep your word to yourself, that is the only way to build not the only way, but that is a key to building self-esteem. And I've worked on that for myself a lot.
Keeping the word to yourself, like Esther says, is not the only way, but it is the key way, one of the most important ways to build your self-integrity, your self-esteem, is keeping your word. What have you told yourself that you wanted to do, but then changed your mind for whatever reason and didn't follow through? I know you're thinking of that one thing right now. Everyone has it. I have it. It's not to make you feel bad. It's not to make you feel worse. This is all about, ultimately, at the end, to make you feel the best that you can ever feel in your life. And that's giving yourself the promise of what you said you were going to do.
Think about what exercise is, right? It's giving to yourself. It's being good to your body. So
that is true. That is how I always tell people. I was like, you don't have to do this. You get to do this.
This is a great way to view working out, is it's giving to yourself. This is something for you. This is something to make you feel better. And sometimes doing things for ourselves is hard. So saying that might not be a motivating thing to get you to get to the gym. But if your goal is to practice self-care, self-love, doing these things, saying that this is something for you, you are showing it because you promised yourself that you were going to do it, that you are trying to develop and improve your self-esteem by showing up regardless. That is going to help you tremendously, keeping your word to yourself.
Like, we're addicted to feeling that feeling of like letting ourselves down.
That is interesting that Annie Letterman said that we are addicted to letting ourselves down, self-sabotage. I don't know what is up with the human brain that does that when we know we want to do something that is good for ourselves and we self-sabotage ourselves. We are negative, we talk ourselves out of it, or we make up an excuse. It's like we have to fight against our own mind sometimes.
That is my problem with working out as well. If I feel like I cannot give balls to the wall effort, then I feel like I shouldn't do it at all. And in regards to procrastination, it's an all or nothing. In regards to procrastination, the other layer for me is the perfectionism.
Yes, I have that too.
Well, I will not start something that I know I might not execute, with excellence. And then I keep saying, today's not the day. I don't feel like I can really, even though 90, 80, 75, 20, 10% is fine that day. A little bit is fine. Yeah. Anything is fine that day.
I hope this inspires you guys as much as it did for me, especially because I'm a perfectionist, that I don't always have to feel my 100% self to do something. Even if I just show up and give 20%, 30%, whatever that is, I showed up, and that is enough. For example, let's say you wanted to work out for an hour at the gym, but you don't feel an hour at the gym that day. So a typical perfectionist like me will say, so I'm not going to give an hour because I don't feel like it, so I'll just stay home and then tomorrow I'll feel like I'm going to give a full hour of time. When I could have just gone to the gym, worked out for 20 to 30 minutes, still felt great, get the endorphins, but instead I didn't go to the gym. Now I feel bad, telling myself negative things. No matter even showing up and giving some sort of effort. So even though 20% of effort that day wasn't 100%, still how I should train my brain is I showed up and that is 100%.
But in my head, it's like, I like the pressure. The pressure then forces me to be like, you have no choice. Now you have to give 100 now.
Right. And then you're hard on yourself if you don't.
Yeah.
Kalila describes this so well. That is so true with procrastination, is that we wait until the last minute and we have this pressure. So now we're forced to give our 100%. And that's why when we're procrastinating and it's crunch time, we have to. It's forced. It's more like, how can we force ourselves to still do the action before that, regardless if we feel our 100% self? The point is still doing the action anyways.
Perfectionism is also a thing I've been like really trying to focus on. And I think because it gives you like that failure to like even like launch off, and like failure to even, you get like paralyzed sometimes if you're trying to be too perfect, because you're not going to achieve perfection. That's impossible.
There you go, guys. Let's get out of being paralyzed. That's what perfectionism does, is we get paralyzed because we are overthinking. We want everything to be right before we take the next step. Stop being paralyzed. Life is too short to stay there and be stuck. We want to always be in momentum, because being stuck, I've been there. It is not fun. And it's very hard to get out there once you feel comfortable being stuck. But once you start taking action and consistently show up for yourself, it's something that you never want to go back and not do.
All of those things are love you have to give yourself. So it's like we have to train ourselves to say to ourselves things that feel weird, about how we love ourselves. We believe in ourselves. Like, I love working out. Working out's great. It's good for my body. I feel good. Like, you just have to keep like talking to yourself in a way that makes you actually do the action.
Talking to yourself positively. As much as people may think it's weird to say positive affirmation to yourself, or to look into the mirror and say positive things for yourself, it is necessary. It is necessary to overcome negative thoughts. It is necessary to overcome perfectionism, overthinking, procrastination. Telling yourself these things time and time again. Like Annie says, what does perfectionism stem from? It stems from fear of people not loving you. Or in other words, the fear of people not liking you, people pleasing. These are all connected. It's all connected. But the great thing is that you have the power to make your life better, make it less hectic. You can do it.
It's always shocking to me that the nicer I am to myself, the more I get done, the more I'm productive, the more I'm a better worker. It's when I'm hard on myself, like, you didn't do this. That's a disaster.
Yeah.
Then I'm worse. And like, but it's so hard. I'm always fighting the instinct to be mean to myself.
Yeah.
Fighting the instinct to be mean to ourselves. That is something that we are going to have to battle for the rest of our lives. Some of us is fighting that urge, that thought, to linger in that thought. As you can see from Esther, what she shares is when she is nicer to herself, when she is saying positive things to herself, she notices that she's more productive, she gets more things done. We want to live a life every day where we choose happy, where we are mindful of our thoughts, where we empower ourselves and the people around us. And the great thing is that we have the power to control that every day. We can't control things that happen to us, but we can control how we react to them. All right, tips to avoid procrastination. So tip number 1, if there's a task that takes you less than a couple minutes to do it right away. That's less than 2 minutes. If you see something on the ground, if you see your favorite pen that is not where it's supposed to be, it takes 2 minutes for you to put that pen where it's supposed to go. Do it. Principle, if it takes less than 2 minutes, do it right now. Tip number 2 to avoid procrastination is to break down your task into smaller tasks. Make your steps as simple as possible. For example, one of your tasks could be to record a podcast. Well, recording a podcast, if you write that down, could seem a lot, right? It could be overwhelming. So many steps right there just by saying, record a podcast. Why not break down that into smaller steps? The smaller step could be think of the title of the episode. Think of the topics of the episode. Get the equipment ready. Choose the day that you are going to record. All these things, if you write down these things, hearing these steps, they sound very easy, much more manageable than record a podcast. How do you eat an elephant? I love that saying of how do you get things done? How do you eat an elephant? Piece by piece. A third way to avoid procrastination is getting organized. I cannot work or do anything if I have a messy room. My mind is already cluttered. When I see my surroundings just like I see my mind, I get overwhelmed and do not want to do anything. So keeping the space around you clean and organized will help you to avoid procrastination, because when you see a mess, your mind will want to focus on that instead. Will want to focus on, let's clean this mess instead of focusing on the project we have to get done. I want to talk about in the future episode how to keep your space organized, because I have struggled with keeping my space organized. I work so hard, spend hours cleaning the area, but somehow it always ends up being a mess. Come on, I can control that, right? It's just being aware of why is that happening and how to stop it. Another tip to avoid procrastination is holding yourself accountable. And how do you do that? You get a friend, you get someone involved. Once you tell somebody that you're going to do something, it's like you've already set it out in the universe. Another tip to avoid procrastination is setting a timer. So you set a time to work on your task for only that time, nothing more, nothing less. You can choose to work on the project for 20 minutes, set the timer, and that's it. When we don't manage our time, we find ourselves spending hours and hours completing a task when it doesn't have to be that way. It could be broken up into chunks, and that's a great way to set up a timer. Sometimes when your mind knows you only have a certain amount of time blocked to think of something creatively, the ideas start to flow, so you're only dedicating blocks of time to that dedicated task. And the last tip is ask for help. Asking for help could be looking for resources. It doesn't have to be asking someone's help necessarily, but it is really just stopping and seeing if you could make your life a little bit easier than what you're currently doing. And if you can't find the information, yes, ask for help. Ask a mentor, ask a partner, ask a friend. People are willing to help. You just have to find the right people that are willing to step in and help you along the way. that is my talk about procrastination. I hope that it has encouraged you that you are not alone in this journey. Still people out there who have procrastination and are still getting things done and are still living the best lives that they can ever think of. And I want to mimic people like that. I want to learn how are they living their lives? What are they reading? What are they doing? It's all about living the life that we all deserve. If you are tired of procrastinating and having that stress of getting things done, trust me, you're not alone. And there are things that you can do, and know that there are people out there who are just like me and you, and they still are making their dreams come true. Hey guys, hello. Can we address the elephant in the room? I did my own box braids. Oh my gosh, I did it, guys. I did it. This was by far the hardest thing. Did I want to quit at one point? Yes, I did. Guys, okay, even though I had shared on the last video that I had watched this amazing video, The Chic Natural, she shows how to install easy summer box braids, beginner friendly. I watched this video and I said, hey, you know what? I want to give it a try. I think I can do it. I got all the materials. Can you guys guess how long it took me? This took me a longer than expected. So when I was reading the comments of how long it took other people to do, a lot of people said that it would take them anywhere from 4 to 6 hours. Yeah, it took me around 8 to 10 hours. Yes, indeed. I had to break it up into 2 days. First day was me just parting my hair, which that alone was an experience too. And then the next day, I decided to braid my hair. But you guys, I did it. I can't believe that I did it. Honestly, it was a fun process. I will definitely do it again. I mean, I'm only going to get better from here. Again, the perfectionist in me is like already noticing some things about it. But overall, I did the thing. The color I chose for these braids, it's purple. So now that I have some sort of understanding of how to do box braids, you guys, the possibilities are endless. I'm thinking all sorts of different colors. I want to do blonde next time, but come on, guys. I mean, for my first time, when I got this done, I was in shock, to be honest with you guys. I was like, did I just do that? Even though, of course, I'm here hours and hours and hours doing the thing. And comment below, what part do you think was the hardest part for me to do? Was it the parting? Was it the braiding? Was it the attachment of the initial part of the braid here at the top? What part do you guys think was the hardest? I told you guys that I was going to try it, and here I am. It went great. As far as I'm here, it is done. I'm living my best life in this hair. I told you guys from the moment I got it done back in April for the very first time, and I saw myself with box braids. I didn't know that that was what these braids were called, was box braids. I'm really new into this world of braiding hair, but I'm all about it. I'm here to stay. Who knows, guys? Maybe I will start doing braids on people. Some beautiful butterflies out there might be wondering why I didn't go to the last hairstylist. And it was just a scheduling thing. She was just really busy and I wanted to get it done for an event. It didn't work out. So an idea came into my head. I'm like, let me see, how do I do these braids? And honestly, I don't remember looking it up. I think it just popped up in my algorithm of how to do box braids. Looked at the video and I'm like, you know what? Why not? That's how this started. It's like, why not? And I also saw the prices of the hair and everything that I needed to buy, and everything was very affordable. That's how we're here now. I did my own box braids. Of course, I'm going to be posting some pictures and videos, and that is something I want to hear from you guys, what color I should do next, because honestly, the colors are endless. I can do multicolor. Really, like, the possibilities are endless. That's why I love getting my hair braided. Other than the look, I love the look. I don't have to get really my hair ready that much. It's just about smoothing out little flyaways here. But I did it, guys. Check me out. Oh, not only am I a makeup artist, but hey now, maybe I'm gonna be a braid hairstylist. Who knows? That's what life is all about, just having fun. Let me know what you guys think of my first box braids. I wanted to catch you guys up because I know I told you guys I was going to try to do it. So here we are. I did it. I'll link below the video that I used to learn how to do box braids, because this video truly was the one that opened my eyes to the possibilities of trying this look out. This episode today is brought to you by Revolution Beauty. Revolution Beauty has been supporting your girl and this podcast by sending us beautiful makeup products. I absolutely love LOVE, capital LOVE. I love their makeup. I love their skincare products. Everything that they come out with is a banger. High quality, affordable, great quality, amazing. The pigments of their eyeshadows, just everything. I have not seen anything. There has not been one item that I don't like. If you haven't tried Revolution Beauty, make sure you do. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. Everything that I've tried there, I have absolutely loved. They're so creative with the collabs and the makeup that they put together. They sent me this PR box, and if you follow my Instagram stories, you guys know what this is. So Makeup Revolution did a collab with Coca-Cola. And of course, you guys can pick up this makeup at your local Target or at revolutionbeauty.com. Well, here we are. Here is the PR box that I received. Thank you so much, Revolution Beauty. I love you guys. You guys have a close place to my heart. I always get excited with every box that I get from you guys. Let's see what's included in this PR box. Again, you guys can check this out at your nearest Target or at revolutionbeauty.com. I always love reading this because it gives me a heads up as to what is in the box here and what is in this collection. Taste a new world. Blast off on a thirst-quenching adventure with Revolution and Coca-Cola's creations. Inspired by the new limited edition space-themed flavor. Okay, limited edition, guys. So don't tell me that I didn't tell you and you guys wanted this and it's gone. Limited edition. Create cosmic transformations with sparkling shadows and an out-of-the-world mascara. I just ran out of my mascara, so thank you, Makeup Revolution. These are the lip glosses. I love lip glosses. They are perfect for the summer. You can choose from these 3 shades right here. There is a glossy pink shade and a coral shade and an orange shade. Even though I have a little gloss on my lip, I've been talking on this podcast. It's worn off a little bit. I say, let's try one of these babies right now. Just by looking at these colors right now, I am gravitating towards this one right here, which is called Elevation, which is the glossy pink shade. Okay, I need a mirror, but I'll use my Too Faced blush, which is amazing for a mirror. Dewy like, very juicy like it says. And it says it's very hydrating. Yes, I love it. I love that it says it's hydrating. Anything that says hydrating, I am all about. If you need some new glosses that are hydrating, make sure you check these out. This is the highlighter, and this highlighter costs $10. Shine like the stars with this highlighter. This gorgeous gold tone powder highlighter is buildable and will suit any skin tone. Any skin tone, ladies. This highlighter has a Coca-Cola bottle image floating in space with the galaxy design. I know it's kind of hard to see it on the camera. Let me get a close up here. Look at that. This is the highlighter. Let's get into one of the palettes. Start with the mini palette, which also cost $10. This has 9 highly pigmented glistening shades of shimmers and foils. This palette will elevate your look beyond the stars and is perfect for when you're on the go. Ooh, let's see what colors we have here. Oh, and it has that. Let me take off this little puppy right here so you guys can see it a little better. Here are the 9 beautiful colors here. As you can see, some of them have the Coca-Cola bottle imprint on there. Talk about shimmer for sure. Some of these colors are foil colors. Since I have purple hair, I did use a little purple eyeshadows. These 2 purple colors here are calling my name. Super pretty. Now let's show you guys the big one. This bigger palette right here comes with 18 colors. Also highly pigmented glistening shades of shimmer and foils. Here it is. I love the colors. Super fun colors for summer, for a vacation. I absolutely love pressed pigment colors. Love anything sparkle, foil, shimmer. That's all me right there. That's my name written all over. This larger palette costs $18. And this also comes with a mascara. Lastly, the Coca-Cola mascara is $8. This is a limited edition, so make sure you guys get your hands on this before it goes away. And if you guys purchase any of the items here, make sure that you tag Makeup Revolution and also hashtag Revolution X Coca-Cola so they can see your fun looks. I am a recovering perfectionist. I will say that proudly. I am a perfectionist. How do we stop ourselves from procrastinating? Loving your future self. You gotta love your future self. If anything that has helped me to avoid procrastination is trying to think of how I'm going to feel if I do wait until the last moment to complete things. The stress comes in. Your stress is already at a max. And because I do want to manage stress better, I have said enough is enough. I know that anytime my stress level is at a max, my whole world is going to go down. So I want to avoid that. I want to avoid taking it out on my friends and family, on myself. It's all about health as well, right? Stress is not good for the body. So if I do love myself, and we are about self-care here, and if we want to teach ourselves, we want to learn to love ourselves more and practice self-care, that is something lessening our stress. That is something that we can control to a degree. Okay, guys, that's it for today's episode. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for your support. We are on the road to 1,000 beautiful butterfly subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. Make sure if you haven't, make sure to subscribe now. Tell your friends, tell your family about this podcast. I can't believe we reached over 500, and that's thanks to each and every one of you out there. Also, don't forget, if you are a small business out there, I want to support your business. Send me a message on email, DM me on Instagram, or comment below your small business. We are all about supporting small businesses out here. If you have one, or if you know of a small business that you would like for us to share and support, comment below. Remember, guys, you are enough. You are beautiful. You are where you're supposed to be. Take that step now. You won't regret it. Kiss fear. Goodbye.